The ugly Aboriginal riots in Western Australia this week have highlighted yet again the tension that exists between the police and Aborigines in this country. You know, it's a fact that the only contact most Aborigines have with white Australia is in the police lockup. So if there's bitterness towards the police, there's resentment to all whites. But here in Wagga, that's being both recognised and addressed. Wagga footy ground, and another rare contact between black and white. Even if it's all black against all white. And overseeing it, the enforcer of white man's law. For generations of Aborigines, this uniform has meant oppression and fear. It's the symbol of white power over black destiny. And there are few cops more powerful than the owner of this blue shirt. He's Senior Constable Peter Watson, the man they call Jacko. 110 kilos of finely honed muscle makes him the toughest cop in this town, or any town. Which is perhaps why, early in his career, he was posted to some of the roughest towns in New South Wales. He still remembers the time in Walgett when some Aborigines spat on his wife and children outside a hotel. The retribution was swift and ruthless.
Two went over the balcony, that's where they stayed. One went inside to the hotel and I chased him inside. I was hit over the head by a bottle of plonk, split my head open, didn't stop me. And I sort of took the situation in hand that way.
That experience, plus being caught up in the booze and brawling of places like Brewarrina, made a racist of Jacko.
Yeah. I've been racist towards Aboriginals, no two ways about it.
And why did you have that attitude?
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure from the police?
Yeah, and peer pressure from police and the white community.
But after 10 years of cracking heads and having his cracked in turn, Jacko is a changed man. He now works with and for Aborigines, trying to put an end to racial hatred, his way.
Everyone wants to get picked up, don't they?
And it's amazingly simple. Get them young, give them fun, get them before the barriers are put up.
Policemen that used to come in and they like police, you know, so from the time they're now, they're 4 or 5 years old, 3 years old, all the track, they're going to be seeing policemen and policewomen saying, oh, yeah, hi, how are you? They're going to want to say good day, yeah. Because they're going to relate back saying, oh, police used to hold me when I was little, and that's good. You know, it shows affection.
So what's made Jacko change? What's turned this self-confessed former racist into a man obsessed with bringing blacks and whites together? Well, the answer is as complex as the man himself. There's his love of children, but really what it amounts to is something very Australian: mateship. A couple of years ago, while working in a Aboriginal tracker, they've been inseparable ever since. Have you guys ever got any flack because of your friendship?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think anyone was game enough to say anything, really.
We got a little bit initially, but people that I got them off, they... Lawrence, you know, they come around and visit. They met Lawrence too, and you know they soon change their minds because they get to see a bloke the way he is. There's no problems. He's my best mate, and that's all there is to it.
His friendship with Lawrence, plus a past as a player for the Hawthorn Footy Club, gave Jacko a rare in to the Aborigine or Koori community.
I got involved with the youth club, and a lot of Koori kids went there. And a couple of fellas were boxing, and I was boxing too. And they were Kooris, and I became friendly with them.
When the New South Wales Police suggested a liaison officer to help prevent a repetition of the riots, the Koori community chose Jacko.
Not again! Oh, bullshit!
Since then, 3 other liaison officers have been appointed in New South Wales, and more are likely.
If Aboriginal people are locked up for some unknown reason or Intoxicated Persons Act or something like that, they always ask for Peter first. Could he come down? And I've known Peter to get out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and go to the cop shop and say, look, can I help this situation out?
A taste of freedom for 2 inmates of the Riverina Juvenile Detention Centre. Duncan and Basil were locked up after a series of break and enters.
Most of the cops down there just walk up and push you around a bit. I think they're tough. They pick on you, especially at night. They just throw you in the van, take you down to the cop station, just give you a little hide. They'll keep you in there for the night then.
It's hard for cops too, you know, it really it is. They get hassled a lot too.
They get hassled by the Koreas? Jacko?
Well, yeah, it works both ways a fair bit, I'd say. You know, it's not all one way. So I'd say it's got to change both ways, you know, it's just, you know, if one lot's willing to change, I think the other lot should be willing to change too, don't you reckon, guys?
Yeah.
So they meet halfway, it's a start, isn't it?
Since he started as liaison officer, Jacko has cut the arrest rate of Aborigines in Wagga by about 50%. But not everyone reckons he's doing a good job.
Here's the man that deserved to go in there, is it?
Some of his fellow officers say he's gone soft on the criminals. They'd like less sympathising and more busting. And when you see Jacko in action at the Juvenile Detention Centre, you can sort of see their point.
Come in, just go get the key up.
I'm going to ring up and get the key, hang on a second.
Let's go move with me.
Guys.
I haven't got it. You haven't got the key. Right.
They don't understand the full implications of what Peter's doing. And if they only realise what Peter's doing is helping us as police. He's helping us as police as well as helping the community.
They'll come around. There's no drama there. You know, the top guys, and you know, they'll soon learn. Or it's not so much really learning, but they'll get the drift.
So optimism is what makes Jacko run. That and determination. And this is where both are nurtured, at home.
Da-da, 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 yeah. Hi, guys.
This is what it's like here night after night. There are Jacko's 5 children, Ricky, his part Koori foster son, and kids from all over the neighbourhood. Jacko and wife Julie act as unpaid counsellors for kids of all ages, many of whom have fled their own homes. And the problems they deal with are devastating.
Kids thrown through plate glass windows, kids that have been raped by their fathers, kids that have been sexually assaulted by their mothers.
Kids being tied to the lamppost.
Yeah.
5-year-old, my mum goes to the pub, tied the lamppost to the front of the house.
It's a desperate situation that you've got to get them out of the house. Other times, to people looking on, it's not. But as I say, the system has no option, because it's either put them into somewhere like us, who's going to give them a bed until they settle down, or to have them walking the street. There is no option, because if a kid won't stay home, they just won't stay home.
Jacko is spending more and more time dealing with juvenile offenders. The violent kids produced by violent backgrounds.
Geez, I don't know, mate. Hey? Yeah, whatever you are, mate. Now sit over here.
It's something he understands firsthand.
Yeah, we got bashed all the time, you know, pretty well flogged. It's, you know, I was 12, I nicked off from home for a couple of months. No one knew where I was. Come back for a while, took off again when I was 13, come back, took off again when I was 15. But, you know, jug cords, getting whipped with jug cords, you know, punched in the mouth. Look, if you have any drama and any more problems between now and tomorrow, you know where I live, all right? You come and see me. If you're worried about it, you come up and see me. Don't leave it be. Don't get angry and go and knock another car off. Okay? There's other ways to take your anger out, like I do. When I get angry, I go to the gym. That gets mine out. Maybe we should get you to the gym or something.
As far as Jacko is concerned, he's just begun. His next step is to try and have police boys' clubs throughout New South Wales converted into refuges for juvenile delinquents. And if the Jacko experiment continues to be successful, then more and more liaison officers will be appointed. And the spectre of racial hatred could begin to dim at last.
People say, oh, what's he get out of it, or anything like that. What I get out of is seeing someone, you know, say, oh, thanks, Jacko. You know, and to me saying thanks, Jacko, or when a kid's in trouble, say, can you come with me to court, sit with me in the courtroom? You know, the kid's asked me to come with him. He's a kid that's in trouble asking the cop to come with him after the cops have locked him up. You know, makes me feel great.